In one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
It's not true. It doesn't matter what's true. It matters the story they tell when you're gone.
I keep on pushing down my gypsy road.
All right, everybody, welcome to a Friday. We got an exciting show today. Paranormal of my soul. What does that mean? I don't know. We'll figure that out. So I see some people already hanging out in the chat. I see Jack Rabbit. Welcome, Jack Rabbit. Welcome to the family. I see Logan. I see Hobbs. Oh, Jack Rabbit. I didn't notice. You joined the channel. Whoa, awesome. Welcome to the family. I really like that. That's awesome. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Gotta give you a shout out. Sketches is here. Chocolate and cheese is coming in. So it looks like people are coming in. That's awesome. So we got an awesome guest today. AmeNed Paranormal. Actually, how you say pronounce it properly?
AmeNed.
AmeNed. Okay, AmeNed Paranormal. But first name's Kim. That's going to be easier.
Yes.
I'm going to say Kim. So I see Selena's in the chat. Logan. Shaka Nah. Right on. And I want to say Nah and Hobbs, I appreciate your guys' comments for my music video that I dropped today. I appreciate that. I always love it when people say, good job on it. You know, I love it. I want to thank you guys very much. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I did a new music video today, Kicks, Cold Blood, Terminator style. So if you guys like that, go jump over to my Horror Talk channel. It's on the community bar. Oh, my phone is ringing. Why is it ringing? Who's trying to get a hold of me? Oh, they could wait. Oh, it's the wife. Oh, she could wait. She could wait. She'll kill me later, but that's fine. That's fine. So what's this one person saying? Eric, it's me, Alien. Oh, okay, Logan. Okay, so you changed your name. That's cool. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. So actually, the topic paranormal, and I'm glad to have another person on the channel to give her perspective on some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today. Everybody who knows me knows my heart and soul is with paranormal. I feel in the Bigfoot community. I feel in the UFO community. I feel Mandela effect community. Spiritual. I don't care if you believe in heaven, hell. I don't care. I feel in the center of all of those communities. I feel the heart and soul is actually paranormal. I feel paranormal is with all of it. I think everything connects with paranormal. Now, that's just my opinion, that I feel everything connects.
Your opinion lately, sucks.
What's that? What sucks?
I'm just fucking with you. No, I'm testing my audio. Can you hear me okay?
No, I can hear just fine.
Yeah, no, I'm using headphones. You remember I'm using a tablet. You remember the tablet I used the other day and you kept having to put me on mute? Yes. And it kept making, okay, so I got headphones on so you can't hear any background noise, right?
No, actually, you sound good today.
Cool. Oh, yeah, perfect. Okay, continue, man. I didn't mean to say you sucked, but go ahead. It does sound kind of pansy how you speak, but that's okay. Go ahead, speak pansy.
See, that's what I was telling you, Kim. There's no off limits on this channel because if things you can't say, Bob already got us kicked off.
They can't kick us off. I'm CIA. It's okay.
Like I was saying, yesterday's show, I did a Bigfoot show on my other channel, and Donnie was talking about like feelings, like he could feel something's out there, like something speaking to him. That's what I'm saying. Paranormal is everything. So Kim, how long you been dabbling into the paranormal?
Oh, right as you said that, thunder just the loudest. It shook the house.
I heard that thunder.
Sorry.
I heard that. I heard the thunder. That was cool.
Perfect timing.
Thor is pounding his hammer. Nice.
If you want to say how long I've been, my first experience was at 3 years old.
Wow. It must have been a big experience where at 3 years old, you remembered it. I mean, I can't even remember what the hell I did at 5 years old. Well, I did get hit by a car. I remember that. But
yeah, you got hit by a car.
I guess you can remember. Was it like your experience at 3? I know it's hard to remember. Is it like kind of a ghost, kind of a thing you saw, a voice that scared you or something? Because I've heard at a younger age with kids and stuff that you see more than an adult can.
And especially women, especially gals. Gals can really, I mean, I'm not being sexist, but she knows what I'm talking about. Women can see them more than men can.
The interesting thing is my father actually saw the same thing I did when he was 16 in the same room.
Oh shit! And you had confirmation. Wow.
We didn't even. I mean, I'm too young. I couldn't explain what I saw. I can tell you in detail what I saw. It was an apparition, a Native American, older man, very long hair. You know, the buckskin beads, everything I can, and it was like he was as solid as me and you.
Wow.
And I wasn't scared of it, but it was what frightened me was being so young. There's somebody in my room, and my parents came running in. My dad's like, "Get her out now." And they moved my bedroom to another room and never saw anything. And from that point until I was 7, 8 years old, I mean, we're talking the 70s. So I'm constantly going in my parents' bedroom and I'm like, you know, there's things in my room. I couldn't explain it. And they got so tired of me coming in the room, so they locked their door. And I can remember dragging my pillow and blanket and laying up against their bedroom door.
Died away. The 70s.
Yeah, I mean, they were just tired of me being in there.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I couldn't explain it to them. And
but what's interesting is you said your father seen this thing at 16. So I wonder if this thing you guys are seeing is technically family related as hanging out with you guys, because why? I mean, in theory, why would your father see this and you see almost the exact same thing so many years later?
I think it was more land issue.
Oh, okay.
Because on my father's side, no, my great grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee Indian.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we know that from our side too. Same thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of intermarriages went on back at that time. Yeah. Yeah.
If people would see the picture of my brother and I's great grandpa, I mean, it's you think he is an Indian chief?
Yeah, he was a Texas Ranger. So yeah. Yeah, Eric looks like him, but Eric's white. That's the difference. The other, he's dark. It's like, imagine a dark Eric, and that's what he looked like.
What are you trying to say? You know, we're all good looking, you know?
Well, you're in Seattle. You don't get no sun. Imagine being a Cherokee Texas Ranger. You know, you're going to get a lot of sun, so you're going to be dark. So, yeah.
That's
nothing
true.
Racial about that, Eric. Nothing racial.
Well, that's true, but now you're saying that about the sun, but I'll make a small little announcement for people in the chat. I've purchased my plane tickets yesterday. So
Yes.
I am going to be in California in October, and on one of those days, tickets are purchased, Bob. Tickets
I know.
And one of those days, we're going to be doing a Bigfoot hunt up in Yosemite National Mountains. We're going to go back. We're going to try to go back to Poison Meadows. Bob knows what Poison Meadows is.
I'm going to be there.
Days, we are going to be doing a Bigfoot hunt, but not just a Bigfoot hunt, a paranormal hunt along with it, because a lot of people who go on Bigfoot hunts have seen orbs, have heard voices, have seen things. That's why I said earlier in the show how there is a connection. I believe there is.
Oh, it's gonna be raging
kind of stuff. So
it's gonna be insane.
A lot of sun, baby.
I'm gonna introduce you to these Sasquatch hunters, and they're not normal. They're wrong in every way. So I'm just giving you a warning. Now
But this is what I'm excited about.
What are you excited about? Don't be too excited.
Taking my daughter on her first, not her first paranormal hunt. My daughter went paranormal hunting with me when we were on the Queen's Mary ship.
Yeah.
That found absolutely nothing. That was a bad hunt because we found nothing.
No such thing as a bad hunt. A hunt is just fun in general.
I know.
She knows. She's like, they're all fun.
Well, what happened was I took my son first. We went through the whole ship.
Yeah.
Got nothing. So I thought, Bob said it to me one time that girls, actually, for whatever reason, ghost appears more with girls than boys. So I took my daughter.
They have the Matrix.
And didn't work.
They got Matrix. They're probably there. She probably saw her, and if you kept looking hard enough, you probably would have. If you had your daughter with you, always bring the guy with you because they always bring them in. It just is what it is. It's not racist in the ghost world. Okay, everyone relax with that one. It's not sexist either. It's just they like the ladies. They think something about the light. They bring them in.
Let me share this screen. Let me just show people. She's our guest has a YouTube channel, and let me just put her link inside the link here, guys. Here in the chat, guys. This is the link to her channel, and
very cool.
I noticed that you do a lot of like trying to find voices, correct?
I do a lot of interviews. The other night, my husband was like, well, let's see what we can do, and turned on the spirit box. And the strange thing was, we're here in America, and a couple of my followers, are from the UK and from the Netherlands. And one of the teams I interviewed from the Netherlands, she came on, and we started getting Dutch words coming in on the radio.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had chills all over.
That's good.
I love that. And
a lot of people.
I see you do some breaking paranormal news, which is cool. I always wanted a channel. Give me some news. I want to hear what's going on. I like that. You got some news going on. So guys, check her channel out and all that. And I see here you got John Huntington on your channel. Keith Linder, Matt Benton, some good paranormal known people. That's awesome.
Tony Rathman.
Nice.
Yeah. These are right here. Tony Rathman, well-known people in the paranormal community. So guys, you got to check it out. I mean, she's interviewing some good people on her channel.
Yeah. Quality hunters.
And I do a wide range. I've interviewed Joshua Joyner, who makes his own paranormal equipment. So anybody that's really involved in the paranormal world, I'll interview them.
Very cool. Yeah, you got me and Eric here. You're basically interviewing us. So yeah. Yes. Lots of ghosts in England.
Everybody knows that, when me, Bob, we go out on a hunt, we don't bring machines with us because we're going to talk to them straight out, man to man. And
yeah, we just drink whiskey. We don't have no equipment but whiskey, and we just talk to them straight. Last time we had summoned a dragon, which is bad. You don't want to bring dragons around.
The weird thing is, Bob's bottle's always like more empty, and I'm noticing he's talking to something, and I don't know if he's really talking to something or he's just talking to the bottle.
Stupid ghost, you come out now! Throw it against their shatters on their gravestone. No.
Carla just subbed your channel, and she's a good person to sub the channel because Carla, she always got great information. I mean, she'll look at our title of the show, she'll look up stuff, and when we do a movie breakdown, I mean, she's got stuff that we didn't even see. And you gotta have people like that. You gotta have people from your chat involved because I always say we know little about everything, but everybody knows little about everything. Pitches in those little things, it becomes one big thing.
You get one big picture. You know what the hell's going on. I want to hear where's the scariest, craziest, wackiest place you've gone? What have you done? What made you run out? Well, I'm not gonna say you ran out the door, but what made you want to run out the door? Let's put it that way.
Well, the thing is with me, I really, when I hit my puberty, my abilities hit me like a ton of bricks.
Are you a medium?
I say I have gifted abilities. I can see, I can hear, I can communicate. I don't channel. That's a personal thing for me. I don't like reading people and channeling, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm working on other stuff. So I'm working on remote viewing and all that.
Bob and I have a good friend who's a medium on our channel that comes on here and there. Named I don't know if you heard of her. She's called Through the Veil Paranormal.
Yeah.
And she has done stuff with police in other states. She comes on. We're good friends. She's an awesome person. So, that's awesome. She actually, like one day we're doing a show and she sends me a message. Eric, there's somebody standing behind you. And she's like, she goes, did you have? She actually goes, did you have a female person that just passed away? And that was weird because this might sound weird too, but Bob and I have a brother who transitioned into a woman. Brother. She transitioned into a woman. She took the injections and all that, and she passed away. So I was just like, wow, that's weird because our sister just passed away. And did she see her? It's so cool to know. And this is weird, Kim. You might Bob and I will swear by this day one. My brother actually had a Ouija board. We know Ouija boards could be used for the wrong reason. He actually has a Ouija board, and Bob will swear to this. We threw it away, got rid of it. And we're going to swear to this to the day we die. Somehow it reappeared back in the bedroom. Yeah. I asked my kids, did you guys take it out of the garbage and bring it back because you knew it was hers? They said they did not.
Like, what the hell, man? It's supposed to be gone. It's agreed. Nobody bring it back. This thing is supposed to be gone. He made it. It's bad.
There's our New Zealand friend. Like I said, we got people all over. Sketches is from Australia. Danielle's from the UK.
Yeah, that thing was evil, man. No. Yeah, that was even the dog. He had a dog. I took care of that dog for a while, and the dog had it was like growths all over him. He started getting these growths like really bad. He was covered with them so bad they had to put him down. I was like, why is this dog getting these look like he's been exposed to radiation? What have you been playing with? What are you doing in that room, man? Your dog is showing effects of something bad. Like, you're showing something effects of bad. You're getting weird looking and stuff. Eventually he went the dark path, and now he's gone. But yeah, I always tell people, from experience, don't mess with that. Just don't do it. It ain't don't be messing with that.
Nope.
You're asking for something.
I'm pulling up the #1 paranormal site on on the internet. Of course, that's my
No.
channel. Of course, that's my channel. Of course. Let me see here. Paranormal USA. This always gives me good ideas. Have you ever gone to Gettysburg and did any kind of paranormal research in Gettysburg?
No, because I live 20 minutes from one of the top 10 bloodiest Civil War battles.
Ooh,
Oh,
wow.
cool.
See, Bob and I, we used to live 10 minutes away from Gettysburg in a town called Frederick, Maryland. So we actually gone on ghost hunts.
She knows. She's nodding.
In Gettysburg and stuff, and of course we didn't really catch nothing. But what place did you go? What second battle?
I'm in here. I'm in Georgia, so
Okay.
When Sherman came in, they already knew he wanted to come and burn Atlanta and burn Georgia all the way to the sea. So
Wow.
they literally 20 minutes from us put up it. Like I said, it's one of the bloodiest. It's top 10 bloodiest battles in the Civil War, and that's where they try to make a stand and hold back. And actually, the property, the land that we're on, there was a skirmish that was going on here. So. Yeah, it doesn't matter where I go, I pick up something.
Well,
Wow.
I actually had a friend that came on my channel last Thursday. He lives in New Jersey, up in the east, and he does a few Bigfoot hunts. But he says in their states over there, paranormal is bigger than Bigfoot because there's more sightings back east, and it makes sense because the east is the oldest part of the country. That's where most of the people have died versus the west. So it makes sense that back east paranormal is stronger versus the west. Not saying the west doesn't have any.
Right.
I'm just saying there's
Older.
more events over there versus the west, where we do have events, but they're smaller compared to the East Coast. Because think about all the murders that just people getting off those ships from other countries. the mafias, there's just so much murders, and that's where the beginning stories of the Indian races were getting killed from Americans or Americans from that part of the country. So not just death. There's spiritual death. It's just
I want to hear about
hotspot.
I want to hear if she saw any Civil War soldiers. I bet you have.
Ooh.
Okay. I want to hear this. Go ahead. I know you saw something.
What's the name of the Civil War that went on there? So I can look it up.
It's Kennesaw Battle. It's Kennesaw Mountain. If you put it up, you'll see Kennesaw. So it's KENNESAW Mountain. You pull that up, you'll automatically see that's we still have cannons out there.
Wow.
A grave of an unknown soldier. We still have the trenches all around the mountain. They're still there.
Amazing. So you've seen and you've obviously had EVP for some apparitions, right? You've obviously got EVP out there.
What's funny is here in where we live, let's do a spirit box session, and they're like, what the heck is that? You're talking about people that didn't even know what a radio was. And they're like, what is that? Why do we have to talk to that? You can hear us. And they just refused. Flat out refused.
Well, they wouldn't know what it is.
Right.
They think it's a bomb. You're sitting there and they don't know they're dead and you're holding a box up to them. No, I don't think they. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Massive death.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad. And the interesting thing about this location is people who are not even in the paranormal world, because there's all kinds of little hiking trails throughout because it's now a national park, and people have heard cannon fire, they've heard gunfire, they've seen spirits, you name it, they've seen it. There's houses built right up against.
Ooh, look at this.
There, and
Tibbet TV said my favorite place out there is Devil's Den area.
No, that's up there. There's no Devil's Den here. Devil's Den is Gettysburg.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But you're describing something horrific. So you've heard cannon fire. You probably heard black powder rifles probably going snapping here. Okay, wow.
The home people have had investigations done in their home because they were seeing things. It's very crazy out here. Even where I am, where the skirmish was, it's yeah.
Now, Bob and I, when we were in Gettysburg and we were doing a ghost walk, we were out in the field part. Now, Bob and I didn't see nothing, but our kids, his son and my son.
My son did, yeah.
They both claims that they actually saw a soldier. Now, we didn't see it, but they claims, and it makes sense because they say kids see it more than grown-ups do. Or maybe they just got lucky and they look in the right area.
I think because children are so innocent, they're just open.
True.
The third eye is just open because
True.
they're so innocent. We haven't learned, lying and all these things. So for kids, it's much easier.
Yeah, and we actually it was so cool that when Bob and I went on this walk, for whatever reason, we went on the right night because they were doing a fireworks show. And it sounded like we were in the middle of a Civil War going on these ghost walks. And it was just like, maybe it was a reenactment that, the ghosts hearing the sounds. But here's something that Carla wrote. My eldest son, when he was 7 or 8, saw a soldier from the Crimean War walk through his bedroom. His description of the clothes is how we knew the era.
Whoa, that'd be freaky. And this is England. A lot of ghosts here, man. A lot of ghosts here.
There's a lot of stuff in the Netherlands, especially from where my husband's from. My husband's from Rotterdam, and Rotterdam was bombed several times.
Yeah, and it's old too.
Yeah, it was very. It was
Well, you got the ley lines too. You got ley lines that run through there. I don't know. I know they're all over England or up where you're at. Up there. I was in Holland, and there's ley lines that run all over the place. And they said that's where all the activity is. So you probably got a lot of activity around them ley lines up there.
It was bombings. I can pick up residual energy very, very easy, and I was picking up German soldiers.
I was trying to see if Bob and I remember Devil's Den in Gettysburg. We went around the whole thing. I'm trying to remember, Bob. Do we remember this section?
I don't know.
It's hard to remember, huh? I mean, we went around the whole area. It was actually cool. When we went, they were doing a reenactment, but I don't understand the rules. In Gettysburg, they're not allowed to do a war reenactment. We don't know why.
Weird.
But they were allowed to do a medical reenactment.
Yeah. So
Bob and I shows up. We didn't know what's going on. We were just wearing our regular clothes, and everybody's wearing Civil War outfits. And somebody comes up with the thing with bread and asks us if we want bread.
Yeah. They asked us if we brought anything. Did we bring anything for the pot? And I was like, "You got pot?" She goes, "No. Did you bring anything for the pot?" I said, "You got pot?" She goes, "No, for the pot." I said, "Like what?" She goes, "Like potatoes, vegetables." Oh no, we didn't bring nothing, but I brought pot. But anyway, she didn't get it. But anyway, so they kind of fancy you in there. You're like part of it.
Yeah, we just walked in the middle of it. We didn't know they were doing it. We're just like walking, like, oh, we're in the middle of a reenactment here.
This is a reenactment going on here, man.
but we learned a lot because we learned that when they were sewing up soldiers, when they got blown up and stuff, that they were noticed that when they were sewing people up, they were getting infections. But when they ran out of materials, they actually cut horsehair and they boiled it to make it where they could thread. And they learned that there were like how come everybody was sewing up with horsehair? Nobody's getting infections, and they learned that boiling kills germs.
Well, they were kidnapping Southern doctors, Confederate doctors, and they were like, because they're saving lives down there, huh? So they figured they were more educated in anatomy or what have you. They couldn't figure out how is it that they're saving lives. Well, it turns out that the Southern doctors are like, well, we're poor, we don't have money, so we use the horsehair, we boil it so it's becomes soft, and then we stitch with it. Because they don't even know why. It was like, oh, because they boiled it, so it's sterile and it's soft, and the stitching is organic, so it just breaks down by itself naturally. And I go, oh, they didn't even know it themselves. This is before they knew what it was. Yep. This is what they were saving lives. So you got to see. Well, you felt Nazis' presence. That would be weird.
Saw it.
Wow. Oh shit.
My husband. I told my husband, I said, look, I have these abilities. I'm just going to tell you now, I have these abilities. He's like, because he didn't believe, he was an absolute skeptic. He didn't believe in heaven and hell, God, devil, spirits, nothing. You die, that's it. I come into his house and he's the best explanation, and it's his words. I had a quiet house. She moves in, and I now have this noisy house. My dog's picking up things. She's picking up things. But we were walking around one evening, and this is shortly after I had arrived, so I could get the feel of how to get around. Didn't know Dutch. Didn't know history or anything. And I come across, and I was like, wait, stop. He's like, what? And I was like, hang on. I said, I see German soldiers. They're pulling people off the street, out of homes, women, men, children. They're lining them up. And I said, I can hear them speaking German, and I could hear the Dutch people speaking Dutch. And I'm just, when I start to see residual energy, I have to communicate it. I can't keep it in. And he's standing there like, what the hell? And I was like, wait. I was like, oh, wow, okay. I was like, the Germans just shot all these people. They're shot. And he's like, yeah, and my husband's born and raised in the city, so he had no idea what I was talking about. And I was like, he's just shot him. And so we went home, and my husband started looking up, and he's like, how did you know this? I was like, I explained to you, I see things. I can't explain to you why or how I see things. Turns out the Germans we had the Dutch resistance, and they were fighting the Germans. And so what they did was they were pulling everybody out of their house. And my husband said, what the Germans were doing was, if you don't come out, we're going to shoot them. Well, of course, the Dutch resistance wasn't going to reveal where they were.
Yeah.
And they executed all these people. And my husband goes, wait a minute, there's a plaque, because there was like a rock wall that kind of goes into a curve. And he's like, there's a plaque. It's in Dutch. It's not in English. And he kept asking over and over again, how did you know? How?
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
That's freaky. That's a good one.
No, that's great, because you're seeing things, but you're seeing it in their form, in their language. You know, they're in their land.
Yeah.
It'd be different if you would have said they all speak English, but like, what?
No.
And this happened just before the divorce, right?
No. No, he's upstairs.
Who am I married to? I want you to sign these.
I think what intrigued him the most was we were walking in one of the larger parks with the dog, and I was like, I hear children crying. I said, they're sobbing. I said, there's sadness and there's fear, but they're sobbing. And I was like, I'm trying to figure out why they're sobbing. And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, they're not dead. These aren't spirits. These are, I said, the emotion was so strong that it imprinted. So my husband talked to a historian, and the historian's like, yeah, he says, when the bombings happen, right, you would have the sirens go off, and the Dutch would send their children to this back area of the park because nothing was getting bombed there. And so the children were there by themselves watching all this happen. And that's what really was, I think, the breaking point for my husband, because he's like, they're not dead. He's like, so how did you pick up on it? I said, I think the emotion was just so strong. It just imprinted right there. And he's like, how can I deny, this? He's like,
yeah,
that's what really for him was the turning point. It's not that he never, ever didn't believe me. It was just like, okay. It was his accepting.
Yeah, he's accepting.
You got to question everything. It's normal.
Yeah.
Every time Bob tells me about him getting scratches in a house in the UK, the first thing I ask him, and this is true, I go, Bob, are you smoking any green?
Yes.
Yes,
I
or have you been drinking? Because I want, But,
yeah.
but apparently
the
the house
scratches.
When he gets scratches on his legs.
They attack me like a motherfucker. I joke about they like women ghosts, that their women shine more, but I have the shine too because they come for me all the time, and I get scratches and I get bruises and I get hit. And one of the places I was staying
show
at,
your scratches on the channel.
I show my scratch. I get these 3. Was it your toenails? No, man, it ain't my toenails. It's always 3 consistent, 3 scratches. It's always the 3 scratches on my back, on my legs, mostly my legs. Mostly my left leg. I don't know why my left. It's because your right leg is scratching your. Okay, I get it. Yeah, the bunk. But whatever it is, it's 3 equal spaced scratches all the time, and then got them on other parts, and I'm like, wow. And then I've got tapped. I had the another resident that lives. A roommate says, and I was in the same spot, and I got tapped on the shoulder, and I got fast, tap, 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 tap. And I was like, what the fuck? There's no one behind me. And I was like, and then another person was in the same spot doing something and looked and said, I got to ask you a question. And this was off the cuff. I was like, what? I don't know how to say this, but the other day, okay, this is stupid. I get it, stupid. But on the other day, I'm standing right here, and I got tapped. I said, where did you get tapped? Then the same spot. I said, that's exactly where I got tapped, right fucking there. And it's right above. And of course, there's in England, you know about it. There's basements. There's it's still, they have the coal stoves in some of these places. And the places I'm staying in right now, this place I'm at presently was a tavern.
Yeah.
It was a 1700s a tavern. And I said, oh shit, it felt like a fingernail tap. And I said, wherever there's taverns, there must have been a slight cat house. I felt a female.
Now
I said,
Now get this, Kim. I don't know, this is just weird luck. One day I told Bob, man, I got scratches on my foot. And Bob asked, we have a Chihuahua that sleeps in the bed, but the Chihuahua never scratched a foot. And on the show, Bob goes, what foot? And I think, I can't remember. I think it was left side. Bob goes, let me show you my left side. And himself had scratches. They were identical. Look, it's the same, but I don't know. Could there be something that scratched both of us on the same leg, same spot, the same night? I mean,
you had the muscle tear. You had the muscle.
Yes, the muscle tear.
You had the muscle tear. And we're not talking, and I'm sitting down here and I'm like, man, I barely move. Oh, this is the left. And I was like, I can barely move my arm, man. It hurt so bad. And I'm just kind of belly aching like I'm whining. I'm like, I didn't do anything to get this. And Eric's like, I just got back from the doctors and I have a tear in my. I'm like, you got a tear where? I said, let me point out the spot you got the tear. I said, damn it, dude. I can feel it here. Over here, I feel it. Everything
don't know.
happens.
And we don't know how the tear happened, you know. Did I move something? Did I touch something? But it was so much pain, you know, and there was a tear. I don't know how.
The connections are weird. And does your husband ever experience anything through you? I would imagine he's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
For a while, we were worried about my son.
Oh yeah.
And when he was 3 or 4, our master bedroom's downstairs. The 2 guest rooms are upstairs. And
that's funny.
I saw that one.
That's funny. That's funny.
Correct. It's the first thing I thought.
He wouldn't come out of his room, and he would just scream, "Mama, Mama!" And I come, and he's like, "There's a witch that's looking at me." So, baby, there's nothing in this house. Trust me, I know there is nothing. I have done a lot of things to protect the house for my son because we weren't sure if he had abilities or not. Mama, it was a witch. I said, "Baby, that is not a witch. That is my great aunt, your great great aunt."
Oh.
And him being so young, you know, she was in 90s when she finally passed away. So she was an older woman. And I guess he just thought older woman witch. I don't know.
Well,
even
Wizard of Oz, the Wizard of Oz, older. Yeah.
he just assumed it. And he swore up and it's a witch. It's a witch. No, baby, it's not a witch. Because I asked my grandfather, my grandmother, and my great aunt to be my spirit guides because I knew I could trust them. They would never lie to me. They would have my best interests. And so she was trying to watch after him. She has since stepped back because my husband's mother she passed away before I ever came into the picture, and something woke me up in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Got my son, I got my husband. I was like, "I need you to come upstairs. There's something in our kid's room."
Oh.
I said, "Don't come in the room, stand at the door." I said, he's like, "Well, okay." And I said, "When I tell you, you need to call your mother." And I'm trying to figure out, you know, I have my grandmother, my grandfather there. We're trying so hard to push this. It won't budge. And finally, I was like, "Ed, call her now." The minute he called her, boom, her presence was so strong. It just literally pushed everything out of the room. Because I knew this is her only grandchild. And I knew if anybody was going to fiercely protect him, it would have been her.
Yeah, I could see that.
Ooh,
I mean, it still brings me to tears thinking about that because it was something trying to get my attention, but was going through my kid. And I was like, "No, I don't play that game."
Wow. Okay, yeah, but everything was fine. Everything was good. No, that's good.
Queen of Swords wrote, "I grew up in an old farmhouse with a female ghost. We saw her many times."
Oh, well.
That's what I love doing these shows because everybody comes out with their stories because they feel comfortable here.
Yep.
Now, I'm sure that if you tell outside people, they probably look at you like you're crazy, you're nuts, because they look at us like we're crazy, we're nuts.
Yeah, I don't care.
Which they're probably right. They're probably right. But
I stopped caring.
I had a friend that she's like, let's go roam around some cemeteries. And I thought she was open. And I told her, I said, you know, your grandmother is always around you. And she looked at me and was like, how do you know? and it was that look that made me decide I was never going to read people, channel people. And the other thing is, if you read somebody and you get 95% right, but you may miss that 5%, people are going to judge you and critique you and throw everything at you for missing that 5%. I was like, no.
Yeah. You're immediately critiqued, you know, and then they're giving you false information. They're trying to say, well, this person's a fraud. You know, okay, well, you know, if you're not in position and want to like I don't feel like being debunked today, so I don't feel like playing your games, so I'm not reading you. You know, I don't read people anyway, but I can see how people that read professionally going, you know what, I'm not doing this. It's just you're coming in here trying to put me down and belittle my practice or whatever. You know, don't do it. Yeah, I don't blame you.
My main thing is I love the paranormal. We have barely scratched the surface with the paranormal. And I mean, you know, to me, the paranormal is just awesome because it is such a wide range, because at the Conjuring house, people say we've seen UFOs. So we do know that UFOs and the paranormal go hand in hand, just like we were talking about with Bigfoot, because we have all kinds of Bigfoot stories. I mean, my family group, both sides of my family are from North Georgia.
Nice. So, I bet you got stories. I want to hear a Bigfoot story. Who do you got? You saw one? Have you ever seen you saw Nazis. Have you seen a Bigfoot? There's something you don't ever hear in the same sentence. You saw Nazis. Now, have you ever saw Bigfoot?
Nope, have never.
Oh, that would have been cool if you did. Oh, you need to go find one. You ever go Bigfoot hunting?
Never.
Okay, yeah, you stick with the ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a guy on our show, Connor. He's our Bigfoot. He's a resident Bigfoot guy.
we have a friend of the channel that came on here before. Her name is Christine, Paranormal TV. She just dropped a video last week where she actually got injured at the Conjuring house.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
There's something that has changed in the Conjuring house. I've done a ton of research on it. I've listened to all the interviews. There has been a shift in the house somehow.
Well, you guys have got to fill us in. Now, imagine people that don't know what a Conjuring house is. Can you fill us in on the Conjuring house? Or fill them in?
It's the Perez family, correct? That's the Perez family.
Perron, yeah.
Yes.
Caroline and Roger bought the house. The house stayed in the family. It was built right before the Revolutionary War. And it has stayed in the family until Caroline and Roger bought the house. So it has stayed all that time in the family. They bought the house, and the day of moving in, the girls had seen somebody sitting at the kitchen table with his feet propped up on the table. And
wow.
Yeah.
I think they managed 12 years there. And
wow.
Yeah. Unlike the movie where people got to understand, the movie is a little, Ed and Lorraine Warren were there, but the story goes, if I'm correct, they were actually, Perez actually kicked them off the property.
What?
Well, what happened was the Warrens came in. Well, first it was a paranormal group from a university.
Yes, they were first.
And it was Carl and I think Carl and Richard Johnson. I think his name's Richard. I can't look. I know Carl. And they came in and investigated. They thought, well, let's reach out to the Warrens because they've seen several, I think 2 things with the Warrens at their university lectures. So they reached out to them. So what happened was the Warrens came in and said, we're going to do a seance. And the seance went crazy. And the table levitated, her chair levitated, and then she was thrown.
Oh,
and
shit.
I guess she hit her head really hard. So I guess, that being thrown and head hit, she stopped breathing for that brief moment. Roger ran to his wife's side, and Ed told Roger, you might not want to touch the possessed. He jumped up, punched him in the nose, and grabbed him up and literally threw him out of the house and said, don't come on my property ever again.
Wow. And you were just recently in that house?
No, not me.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I
guys,
wish.
no. Don't get me wrong, people. I love Ed Lorraine Warren. I even have a link for them on my channel. But you gotta take fantasy out of movies too, where they didn't do like a seance like he did in the movie. Now Ed Warren is a devil's a demonologist.
Demonologist.
He actually can, not supposed to, but can do possessions like the priest can, like the only one.
Exorcisms.
Exorcism.
Yeah.
But we all know some things are stretched just for the movies.
Yes.
And all that.
Yeah.
And Bathsheba, nobody can figure out why Lorraine said Bathsheba was on the property, because Bathsheba had nothing to do with the property. She claimed she was a witch. She had killed a baby. None of this is true. None of it is true.
Okay.
Because she's buried in the cemetery, a Christian cemetery. If she was a witch, they would have never buried her with the family.
Read this.
Okay.
The house I still live in now was haunted by 4 spirits. We live alongside them until one began to scare and hurt my second eldest son. He was only 3 or 4, which you're talking about when you saw one, you were 3.
Yeah.
We got the house blessed by the local priest. And of course, he lives in the UK, where that is even older than this country.
Yep.
Wow. Well, yeah, England. That's all I want to say about that. This place is, and a lot of houses, I guess, I always joke about they're on the ley line. So when I check, I say this one's on the ley line. So yeah.
Read this. This is interesting. I hear people that give massages take on the energy of their clients and have to detox afterwards. That's interesting.
Reiki. They're Reikis.
Reiki.
Yeah, I've never actually I've never heard that with the massagers.
Yes.
I just know you're supposed to stay away from the 24-hour massagers, especially if you're married.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Reiki. I got Reiki'd once, and the lady, I was like, I'm waiting for the happy ending with the Reiki. And it wasn't coming. I was like doing the kanji sign. I'm like, I'm not feeling this. This is not what I'm paying for. I'm not Reikiing with you no more. And I paid though. I walked out, but it's a joke. But the Reiki just didn't do it. I was like, it's not working for this.
Now, Bob, here's a question for you: is Manchester on the ley lines?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't do anything. Okay, as the old joke goes, you don't shit in your own camp. So I do. I go outside. I go outside to do ghost huntings and stuff outside of. I don't want to do it in Manchester. I want to come back to a place where there's no. I want to leave it where I'm at. So I don't do anything in the town of. I try to go towards Scotland. Lake District, down towards London.
Edinburgh.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything, and I don't want to be known as ghost hunting in Manchester. I like Manchester the way it is, and I want to know. Although I've stayed in places in Manchester that do have spirits. I mean, people like me to go in there because A, I'm not scared. And B, they like these things like to kind of harass, and I'm a little bit boisterous where I'm telling them to get the hell out. With the smudging, I could smudge, and I'm like, get the hell. They know I mean get that. Now I was in Japan, so I know how the Japanese do it. And I watch the Japanese do it, so I also have the bowl of I just do rice. I guess maybe over here mutton. I don't know. I stick with the rice routine. So you do the rice bowls. You go around. You have the rice, and then you do the smudging, and then all the corners of every inch of every single, and then you put the rice outside and leave the door open, and then after a certain time you shut the door. It's like they're supposed to go out to eat.
I have never ever smudged for spirits. Never.
Okay.
I am in the firm belief. I mean, if something comes in, I'm like, if you misbehave, I'll kick you the hell out, and you're not going to like where you're going to go. Period. And a question. I have something here. It pesters me. bothered my dog twice. And the rules I set down is you don't mess with my family. You don't mess with my dog. And my dog, we were all in the living room. My family's used to me now. So my dog was looking up. We have 25-foot ceilings, and she was looking up, and all of a sudden she did this lunge, growl. I mean, very aggressive. And I was like, I told you, don't mess with my dog. And all of a sudden I didn't hear from it. And then we were in the bedroom, and my dog was like, what's going on? And she's looking. I was like, what'd I tell you? I ain't playing games. Now, the energy of my house, the people that built the house and lived in it first had a very nasty, long divorce. Children were involved. The neighbor was like, oh, we live right down the street from a university. They're like, you had a bunch of college kids that were living in your house, and DEA, the ATF, local law enforcement's pulled up and dragged some girl out of the house. I was like, oh, okay, no wonder there's such negative energy. Now I sage for that, because sage completely wipes out all energy, negative.
It wipes it out. Yeah, it does everything. It reboots the whole house. Someone put down, I was at Holland's. I was in a Holland's. Eric, put that back up. Yeah, the Holland's House Hotel. That was, it's kind of attached to Manchester in a way. That place was haunted like a motherfucker. It was haunted like crazy. It used to be a kid's home for orphans, and of course you got nuns involved, and so you got the whole movie set in this one hotel. So we were there. I was with a group, and I was not there to do any ghost hunting. I knew it was haunted, but it was not on my itinerary. Didn't plan on doing anything, but I had the TV on, and it was low, and been out all day, and it's time to hit the sack, go to sleep. And so the TV was, I like it on low. I like some British television, something stupid in the background. It's on low, like low. You got neighbors. It's kept getting a little soft knock on the door. And I get up. I was like, what the hell? It's like 3 a.m. What the? I open the door, and I'm thinking, room service. And this sweet little old lady there with this old sweater, like an old, cold, old sweater. She says real nicely, can you please turn down, keep the noise down. I said, ma'am, okay, I'll turn down the TV. I do apologize. This is their country. I do apologize. I'll do it right now. And I'm looking at the TV. I can barely hear it. I said, well, I'll turn it down 1. This is ridiculous. I turned it down 1. I swear on my life, guys, I'm not lying. Lay back down, blankets, knock, little soft knock. I said, oh, you're kidding me. You're kidding me, man. And I get up, and my friends were a witness, and I get over, I open the door, I said, well, hi, ma'am. I did turn it down. She said, can you please turn it down? I said, ma'am, it's down the lowest I can go. I'm down to like no settings. I'm deaf. I can't hear. I'm a disabled vet. I'll turn it down some more. Shut the door, and then finally it was like a third knock, and she come in. I said, ma'am, I'm turning it off. Is that fine? And she's just like, but she's still sweet, and she's still insistent that it's loud. So it's just the third time, and I'm like, all right, fine. And I turned it off at this point. I opened the window to hear the sound of the wind and the rain, and that's a beautiful sound. That's good enough for me. Get up the morning, go out, check it out, me and the buddies, and then someone says, hey, can you ask her about the lady? I said, yeah, I'll make a little stink about it. Ma'am, there was a gal, there's something, she's got some, and she goes, what does she look like? She's a little gal, she got short gray hair, like she'd cut it short, and then she's got a sweater, like a big, bulky old sweater. And she goes, oh, gets on the phone and calls a friend up. I'm like, what's going on? No, what? She's not talking to me. She's talking to the phone now. I'm like, excuse me? And she's got a ghost hunter friend that's been trying to get that lady. What do you? She goes, you saw her. I said, I saw who? You saw her. I said, who's her? She's the ghost they've been trying to get that people keep reporting in that section. She was like the keeper, like the head keeper of the kids. She's like the head master, they would call it, the headmaster. Nun. And I go, oh. And they said, well, can I describe? I described her. They said, that's her. I said, oh, well, that explains it.
Wow.
I saw it. I saw a little nun ghost lady. As visually clear as human can be. Short little gal, friendly but stressed. Just so stressed in the face, like she had just come out of a romper room with kids screaming all day in her ear, and she just needs a night's sleep.
Wow.
I swear it's a true story. So somebody typed it in as part of the group, says you've got to tell them about that one.
I love these stories. I mean, this one story is still continuing in the chat. The spirit, a man didn't like that stairs hadn't changed. He started flying around the light, engaged in pushing my son out of bed. And then this went on almost nightly for months till I had enough. Luckily, I knew the forest through the school, so he knew us and agreed to come out.
Whoa!
I mean, wow! I mean, it just attacked the second eldest. Didn't bother the older brother at all. Like, wow!
Wow! Yeah, you had a little pest. You had a pest.
You know, now you said you done voice boxes, and you probably try to capture voices too. I'm guessing.
Yeah, you got a voice box, EVP.
But let me ask you, now, when you try to, because I try to do voice capturing. I mean, like I was up in New York. I was up in a private graveyard behind a school, where a couple early college kids back in 1849 that have died. Which, Bob, I don't know if you know this. Since we aired that, I don't know if you know this, Bob. About 3 weeks ago. The town of McGraw put a memorial now. They got enough money and put a memorial up the spot where we were at. I'm not saying we were responsible. I'm not saying we're responsible because we had it on the channel. We talked about this area that nobody knows about. They actually put a plaque now up in this area. But
wow.
But I thought that was cool. But here, let me see here. Let me see if I hit like who died November 2nd, 1851. So I'm gonna finish business. No, that's a stupid question. I'm gonna do something bad. That was dumb. That's idiotic. Yeah, that was idiotic. Are you here today? Are you here with us? Now, I watch shows and they'll pick up something. And now, like I said, we were out in the middle of nowhere. I heard a little thing. Do you believe that, like, some of these shows, right? Some of these shows like Ghost Adventures, they'll have something, but then there's a technique that I know they do where somebody else will go, "Oh, that sounds like they're saying get out of here." Then all of a sudden, everybody is thinking that little white noise is that what they're saying. Now, if you've done some investigation like this, how do you determine if you've done this, like, what could be considered a real
EVP
voice capturing EVP versus somebody just got a noise like I did? Now, maybe that was somebody talking. I don't know, but what do you do? How do you determine what's real for you and what's not?
For me, I mean, you have to hear the actual word that's being said. Now, listening to one guy, he's been investigating for a long time, and he likes the spirit box. And the one thing he says is, I make them say a word that has more than two syllables in it.
Okay.
He says, that right there, he says, and if you ask the same question 3 times, get the same response, then it's definitive.
Okay.
That's what when we were doing the spirit box the other day and recording it, I mean, it was blowing me away, because there was a big gap in time, and because I was listening on my phone my husband had the spirit box on the desk next to the microphone. And so I was listening through my phone, which gave a huge delay. But I mean, words were coming in. My husband decided just out of blue to start speaking Dutch. Why, I don't know. But he started speaking Dutch. And all of a sudden I was like, whoa, wait. And he had named the stream Late Night Snack or something. And it had come back with a Dutch word, eten. Which is eat.
Wow.
And then more Dutch words were coming through. And I had a Dutch team that I had interviewed, and I had known her for a long time. She was in the stream, and she started asking her questions, and we heard the word, in Dutch, it would be Jackie, which is Jackie.
Yeah.
And then it came through again as Jak, which is Jack. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't know she was asking those questions. And it was just bizarre. These Dutch words just kept flying in out of nowhere.
I like what Paranormal Underworld just says. He's a good friend of the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hook up, do a show with him, but he's working. I'm off. We just can't. It's hard to get together with him again. We want to do one on the Bridgewater Triangle, a part 2. But he's saying there is a saying when going over data, especially EVPs. When in doubt, throw it out.
Yeah. If you can't get more than one person, usually, like my husband I have MS and I have fibromyalgia, and the minute I started showing signs of MS, my ears ring. They've rung for. I was in my late 30s when I was diagnosed with MS. So I have to really concentrate hard. My husband can pick up things, and I'm like recording late at night. He's upstairs. I'm in my room. Something bumped the bed. So I just flipped on the recorder on my phone.
Okay.
And I was like, you can hear movement in the room. There's nothing moving in the room. So I was like, listen to it. And so if you can't get somebody to agree on what you heard and that they heard the same thing, then it throw it away.
Makes sense. And Queen of Swords, don't get me wrong, because she wrote Eric, Spirit Box has some wild stuff, true stuff. I'm not saying none of it's true. But we all learned that you got to try to debunk first.
Yes.
Try to get rid of, like Chocolate Waves wrote here. There's a lot of waves in the air. That's the thing. We want to.
Do you ask them
fun. Like if I take this and I put it in slow motion, motion, and then I was trying to see, is there a word there?
Are you here today? Are you here with us?
See, I try to listen over and over. Now I'm guessing like Chocolate knows that's probably just some waves in the air. Now I was in the country, I was out in the woods. This place is, they don't call this a town, they call it a village. East Coast, when they have less populated, it's called a village. So there is less interference out there. I hope that's a word. But
it sounded like to me correct. That's what that's what it sounded like. It said correct.
And
now, when you're in Dutch land,
what is left over may be paranormal. Exactly. That's what Bigfoot hunting. That's what everything. You want to get rid of the junk and whatever's left that you can't explain. There you go. That's what's left over. That's what we're all here for.
Do you ask them in Dutchland? Do you ask them their favorite ABBA song? Do you ever ask them which one they would like? Which one is their favorite?
ABBA is Swedish. They're not.
Oh God! I thought it was Dutch.
And Dutchland is German.
Damn it! First, I thought they were German. Then I thought they were Dutch, and now I realize that they're Swedish. No wonder the ghosts never answer that question. I always ask them obscure questions like, "What is your favorite head of lettuce?" And they don't really answer correctly.
Now, I do.
What is your? What's that?
Question for Kim. Do you believe in voodoo dolls?
Oh no.
Because I do got a voodoo doll of Bob here.
No, you don't. You don't.
Man, we curse this doll where
You
Bob
need to I tell him to destroy that doll, but I feel like something will happen to me. Leave that doll. Get rid of it. I would say burn it, but then I would feel fire.
Bob, do you feel anything on your right leg?
No. I'm going to have one for you, too. I'm going to find you a doll. I'm going to find you a doll.
We like to have fun.
Can't be.
You know.
Maybe this doll looks a little bit like you. I don't know. Maybe this doll. It's the Roman soldier.
But do you? I know some people they belong in groups. They belong with certain paranormal groups that they go on investigations. Do you go on any investigations? Do you belong to the group, or you and your husband just go out on your own when you want to? Like just you are your own group.
The thing was, back in the late 90s, there was a group, and this was before Facebook, MySpace, all that. I found them on a YouTube, or not YouTube, oh my goodness, a Yahoo group. And they were here, they were locally. And so I started getting to know people. And one of the people in the group was like, hey, you want to go on an investigation with me? And I was like, okay, sure. And what it was is they were thinking this church, it was a slave church, was haunted. And I get there and I was like, no, it's not haunted. I was like, but I don't know what's across the street. But there a guy was murdered. And they were like, what? And I said, across the street, right here, because I was standing in the middle of the road. I said, there was a guy that was murdered over here. And they were like, wow. How do you know? And I said, I don't. That's what I'm picking up. I said, there's nothing at this church. And they were like, yeah, there was a guy, because the cemetery's across the street. Back in the 80s, two guys tried to rob a grocery store, and they took the manager to the cemetery and tortured him. They got the safe code, went back, got the money out, went back and killed him. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's horrible.
And that was the first time I was touched. But they kept insinuating about the church. And I was like, well, what's about the church? And they're like, well, the basement is flooded and all this. So I think it was a few weeks later, I took a bunch of guys that were in construction. I said, come and tell me what the deal is with this. And they looked over the place and they were like, well, there's a creek that runs on the back of the property. I bet you this church, the basement has leaked or flooded several times. And that's probably why they abandoned the property. And I was like, okay, well, the ghost group that I was interested in got livid.
Oh.
And I was like, but wait a minute, I don't play this game. I mean,
you want the truth. You don't want to create a fake truth on a place. Because when people see spooky things, they think of a rundown church. They make it more spookier than it really is.
Well, just because it looks creepy doesn't mean it's not.
You're seeing something across the street about a death. They should have been like, let's write this down. Let's investigate this. Let's find out who got murdered, the names.
Yeah.
You know, that's research. They don't sound like a real research group.
And I mean, it was bad. I mean, it was bad. They were calling me, threatening me. I was like, well, wait, first of all, you don't know who I am. You're not going to call and threaten me. I was like, I fight back. I'm not, I mean, I don't play that game. You're not.
It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be educational, scientific, and fun. You're not supposed to be threatening people and being all angry.
I try to get with groups, but they won't accept me. No, not one group will accept me.
After that, I was just so. I was like, okay, if this is how the paranormal world is, forget this. And I just. But the problem is I'm not able to investigate like I would love to because of my MS. And the one thing you have to be very careful when you're investigating, because you don't know where you're going into. And if there is a negative entity, spirit, I'm not saying demon, because 48 years of my life, I've never come across a demon. Elemental, I have.
Good.
We have
but
a
not
friend
a
who's
demon.
demon hunter.
Yeah, we got a friend
Wow.
who's a demon hunter.
But, you know, for me, all it takes is finding that one negative being and it finding out my weakness and using against me.
Yeah.
Now, my husband has this very strong presence about him. He's very alpha male. He's just got this presence. And I will use his energy, but I can't take the risk with my kids still being young and all that. I can't take the risk right now. I mean,
are you afraid? Not afraid, but
are
you afraid or feel that because you have, like you said, you have a few abilities that you're working with that it's running through your kid because your kid did see something?
I'm leaning on I don't think so. Which I'm glad, because growing up as a kid, I was terrified. I mean, laying in bed, all I heard was spirits, and I could see them walking around in my room. It was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. And I've always been open with him and honest with him. So, and him being 13, he's at that age where if he had something, it would be popping through.
True.
So I don't think it is, but it's just a simple fact. I have run across something that was very negative. I called him the angry man. He was a Civil War soldier. And we had just moved into a brand new house and nobody had lived there. And the minute I walked in the master bedroom, this big burly man, dark hair, real furry beard. I mean, it was huge. Just was in my face, cussing and raging. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to ignore him. Maybe he'll go away.
Yeah.
Well, and when my 150-pound Doberman at the time wouldn't come into my bedroom, I broke down. I called my dad. I was like, Dad, what am I going to do? He's like, well, talk to him. Okay. He's like, well, talk to him. He's like, find out what is it that he wants?
Yeah,
why
what's
is
his
he angry? He was angry. He kept saying, it's not my war. I didn't want to fight this. He died very slowly. And what I found out was he was just so loud and so in your face that there was another soldier behind him that was more. He died very quickly. He kept asking about his family. And I was like, your family is gone.
Gone.
I was like, but if you will stop and listen to me, you'll hear them. And I could hear two females calling out. And I said, they're calling you. Listen to them. Listen. And all of a sudden, boom, he's gone. But Angry Man is still there screaming at me.
What about me?
Then about 7 months later, I moved to Holland. The damn thing followed me.
Oh. No.
I was laying in bed, sound asleep. You know, my now husband's laying next to me, and he grabbed my ankle. And I sat up in bed. I was cussing mad. I was like, no, you don't, no. I was like, don't you ever touch me without my permission. And my husband goes, I didn't touch you. What's your problem? I was like, no. Wasn't you. He's like, who are you talking to?
Oh, no. Did you exorcise him? Did you get him out? Did you call a priest? What did you do? Anything at all?
I can just imagine your husband in bed hearing that. What?
Well, I did. So, I mean, he was aware that I had abilities. I just didn't know until I finally just kind of calmed myself down living there, because it was such a shock to my system that he finally was like, okay, I'm tired of you ignoring me and I'm going to grab your ankle. I think what happened was there was just so many spirits. I mean, once a month, you know, you had the air raid sirens go off. And that would just, you know, bring up more emotions. I think it just kind of pushed them away. And
oh, good. Well, the Nazis would get him out of there too. Papers,
thing
please.
I would have checked was, did Bill Clinton just die? I'm being touched. Is Bill Clinton just died? That's the first thing I would check. That's funny. That's funny. You know,
the Nazi ghost got rid of him.
If I ever go on investigations, I'm taking my 16-year-old son.
And you are not scheduled to be in this country as a ghost. What are you doing? These papers are not relevant at all.
it was funny because after we had gotten married, I said, well, can we take one of our vacations to Auschwitz? I'd love to see Auschwitz. My husband's like, no, absolutely not. He's like, my fear would be you would get PTSD, something. Yeah. He's like, that is too heavy of a place. He's like, no, I won't do it.
But now is your son, is your husband used to it? Because Carla wrote, I bet it took some time for your husband to get used to it all.
The first time I experienced it, the residual energy, my husband was just like, okay, whatever. Looked it up, saw it. He was like, how do you know this? And then there's a prison in the city center, a very old prison. And I told, every time we would drive by this prison, I was like, you can't ask me to go into this place. And he's like, what? And I was like, you don't understand. I can hear the screams. I can smell blood. Horrendous things happen in this prison. And so he asked the historian, he's like, did anything happen in that prison? He goes, yeah. He goes, well, what happened? He said, the Nazis went into City Hall and pulled all the politicians out and were torturing them to get information. And my husband came back and he goes, how do you pick up on this stuff? He's like, I have lived here in this city. This is my city. And I don't even know this stuff. How do you do it? And I was like, I don't know. But every single time it would just make me nauseous. And I said, so what happened there was so horrendous and so awful. There's something dark in that place. Wow. And I said, no, you couldn't ask me to go in there. You could not ask me. It just was awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
Demon. Yeah.
But see, he was curious.
Yeah.
So he would like ask questions. How come you don't pick up anything more in City Hall? I said, because City Hall over the years has changed. It's remodeled. It's changed. You have different nationalities coming through there. I was like, but the upper floors, I was like, no, it's bad. It's really bad on the upper floors.
Like, you get to choose, right? You don't get to choose what you're gonna feel. I mean, it either happens or it don't. It's like, you know, that's.
I think it was just he was so confused by it. He's never doubt me.
Does he like write down everything you say and then afterwards go research on the side to see what you're saying actually happens and then get blown away?
My husband has a remarkable memory.
He already knew the stories.
Yeah. So I mean, so when I told him, he remembered and knew exactly. I mean, because he didn't want to. He would ask the historian, "What happened in that prison? Did something happen?" Oh yeah. So he's like, I never set the guy up to tell me something that may have not happened or what, but he's never doubted me. He's always been very. He's questioned things, but now, I mean, we've been together 15 years, married 14. Oh, yeah. Now he's just used to it. I mean, he's like, if I start talking, he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I got roommates that trust me now. It's been 3 years since I've become. We were in one spot. I see him too. I was buying cigarettes illegally, tax free anyway. I was buying some illegal cigarettes from the place anyway. And there's this bus stop in front of, like you said, a town hall. There's a bus stop, busy bus stop. And there's this man who's pacing. There's a whole group of people sitting on the bench, and they're sitting on their stupid phones, and they've got their books out and whatever. And there's this goofy guy, skinny as shit, pacing in front like he's expecting father, like he's gonna have a baby, and he's just smoking. He's pacing back and forth. Yeah, and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for someone to score some cigarettes that are tax-free. Anyway, that's a long different story by itself. But so I'm standing and I'm watching this guy. I'm like, this is a weird dude, man. He's annoying me I'm across the street. He's annoying me and I'm across the street. He's not looking at nobody. And the people that he's walking by, I'm annoyed and I'm across the street. I go, how can they not be annoyed by this guy? They're just talking to each other and smiling. Like this guy doesn't bother them. Pacing. And so a friend of mine comes out and he's got the goods, man. Let's get out of here. I said, that dude's annoying me. And a friend of mine looked back and says, what are you talking about? I said, that guy is annoying me. What guy? The pacing, weird, skinny guy with the stringy hair. No guy there. I said, the guy that... What the hell? The guy was just... What? Okay, I shut up. And so we're going across, and there's a weird-ass Europe. You know Europe. It's weird corner streets and shit. Over here, it's not illegal to jaywalk. They can jaywalk anywhere they want. So we go and use the regular street signals to go across, and there's a girl walking by now. And I'm like doing a double take. She just walks by with a fever, like a fucking head down and moving fast. Younger guy, and I'm looking back and I do a double take, and then buddy's like, what are you doing? I said, that girl almost knocked us over. What girl? The girl that went that way. He says, there's no girl, dude, and there's no guy at that corner. And then I find out that's the #1 spot where people get hit by cars. They get hit there. That's the spot where they get hit. People have died there. Many people have died in this area. That we crossed where we were at, and then in front of that bus stop, a guy had threw himself in front of the bus. I guess a couple of times people did, but one guy got hit by and killed not too long ago. I was like, huh? I'm seeing dead people. This is crazy. Did you guys? Nobody saw that.
I think we got a question here.
What's that?
Do you think the residual energy of death, I'm sorry, especially the death of those who don't know they died, is stuck in kind of a time loop?
It is a loop. To me, it was a loop because there was the person, the ghost person, didn't acknowledge anybody there, and the people there didn't acknowledge the ghost person there, and then the gal that crossed me this way didn't acknowledge me, almost walked through me, didn't acknowledge the cars coming. Just walked like it's brainless, like a movie, a physical moving movie. And I said, holy shit, I just saw 2 freaking dead people that got hit by buses. It's the bus area.
You see white purple. What? I don't know what this means. You see white purple. Okay.
The thing is with residual energy, it's not an intelligent haunting. It is just a loop.
Like a record player playing over and over again.
Yeah, it's just like a video that you see, and it goes in a loop, but there's no intelligence whatsoever to it.
Kind of like Bob's story about the lady knocking on the door saying the same thing over and over again.
She's not really talking to me. Mm-hmm. She's just talking at me. Can I keep it down? Can I please keep it down? I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay, I'll keep it down. You know, just so stressed. Just gotta keep it down, please. Okay, man. Talking at you.
Yeah.
But Kim, if you ever want to go on an investigation, you want a debunker to go with you, take my 16-year-old son with you. He is a debunker. We were in New York, and my wife's grandma, she's like 97 years old, and she hears voices at night. So I'm like, I was interested. I was questioning her, like, what time do you hear these voices? What are they saying? And here's my son with no feeling in the world. He was just like, do you have oil running through your house? Well, yeah. You know, oil carries, like, carries voices from miles away. So what you're probably hearing is not voices. You're probably hearing sound waves through your oil. And he was just like, I'm like, son, let her speak. It just, he's like, no, like he was debunking everything. Like, son, she's 97 years old. Let her speak.
Let her.
Bob knows my son Oliver. He's just like,
he's a scientist.
He'll debunk every single thing.
Good for him.
He doesn't care what your age is. He doesn't care what you're saying. But you got to have a person like that.
Yes.
With you.
Yeah.
You really do.
See, that's my husband. He's still a skeptic. He's like, don't get me wrong. He's like, I believe everything you say. He's like, I have backed it up with everything you've said, things you've seen. He's like, but he's like, he still questions, and I throw things at him and. I've always debunked. I don't believe in anything until after 2016. And then coming to England, now I'm seeing these things. I'm like, oh, come on. Now I don't know what to do. I can't explain it to people. You've got to see it, man. You just got to know it's there.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah.
We might have to ask Jason this question because he goes, I moved to Fresno about 2 years ago and seen floating balls of light sometimes. Now, Jason, Bob, on this channel about 3-4 weeks ago, when he was in Fresno, he said he had seen lights. Now, are you talking about
probably talking about orbs?
Now, are you talking about orbs? That's what I want to ask. Are you talking about orbs, or are you talking about lights in the sky?
Yeah, 6 months ago, I was seeing balloon
Kenneth,
balls.
let me ask you about orbs. Now, a lot of investigators that I listen to don't even bother with orbs because orbs are just too many interference. Too many things that people are just saying.
Well,
spirits and all that.
You have dust, you have skin, hair, and follicles from your skin. If you have a pet, pets are the worst. They're danders everywhere.
Yeah,
so you have to be careful. You have to be
like
careful.
Right now,
but a real orb will actually produce light. And so, if it's producing its own source of light, okay, then we'll talk. But if you're seeing things, it's misty out, whatever, it's going to pick up things, and you have to be really careful with orbs. I mean, orbs are going to have a solid, bright ring, and then the inside is a softer color.
Okay. Because Jason is saying not dust, glowing light, like you're explaining. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
See, my husband had his when we were still in Holland. My dog was acting up. He has since passed, but he would act up. He'd start barking at really unusual places, like looking up and all these places. And I knew immediately, and I would just go, Bruiser, it's okay. It's fine. I know it's here. It's not going to bother you. And he would calm down. But there was something in our house, and it was pinging off walls, and Dutch homes are long and narrow. So our living room and dining room was one big room. And my husband's walking around the room, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know. There's something going on. The hair on the back of my neck is standing up. Well, welcome to Paranormal, dear. There you go.
I want to bring this up because Hobbs wrote, I sometimes see what I think are white feathers falling in front of my eyes, but can't find them when I look on the ground. And the reason I'm bringing this one up, because 2 weeks ago, Bob and I did a show we called about guardian angels. We do shows on everything. And one of the numbers for if you have a guardian angel, I'm not saying if anybody's religious or not, but in one of the religion things, it says, a lot of people who have guardian angels have seen a white feather come around, and now I'm seeing what Hobbs saying, white feather, but can't find them when you look around now.
Well, don't you remember the last show? The last show, we're all joking around, and I'm sitting here. I saw it on the camera. A damn white feather landed on my shoulder on the show. I was like, this did not just happen, man.
Is it paranormal? Is it a guardian angel? I mean, these things to think about, right?
Yeah, that was weird.
Now, Jason, one about the orbs saying, I thought it was just me imagining things until I saw one during the day. Even that really freaked me out because there's no way something else could have been giving off a light to be seen that brightly during the day.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yep.
Yeah. Could be
he's
spirit.
been investigating his own orbs, which is cool because you're supposed to, you know. Can there be a light flash from a car outside, you know, shining here, bouncing here and stuff? So
That's a
pretty
plasma
good
ball.
investigation. Now, what is this? Now, Queen of Swords wrote, I have great orb video. No doubt it's real. Yeah, guys, I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just saying you got to be careful with orbs. You got to really try to debunk orbs because there can be reflections. Like you said, dogs. I have 2 dogs upstairs. You know, a Chihuahua and an English Bulldog that I got to wipe its ass every time it poops, which don't get an English Bulldog if you don't like wiping asses. Those dogs, they're ugly poopers.
You got to bleach his bunghole because it's white.
Now,
She's white.
I get floaters in my eyes. What? Chasing the truth shot. Now, let me ask you, Kim, on a religion side, I'm not a pure religious person.
Right.
Now, Bob and our grandpa was a minister.
Yeah, minister.
And all that. So, in my eyes, if you do believe in a heaven and hell, if you do believe in spirits, don't you kind of, in a way, kind of want paranormal to be true to find spirits and ghosts? Because I feel if I can actually talk to a spirit, if a spirit comes in front of me, that means that energy left the body, that energy is here, and it's probably going somewhere. Wouldn't that help somebody to want to believe in heaven, to believe in a...
I personally don't mix religion and paranormal together because if you do read the Bible, it does say you are not supposed to be communicating with spirits. And if you communicate with spirits, you're to be stoned to death.
Wow.
And so when you read that aspect, then I tend to be like, yeah, okay. So I tend to leave religion out of it. Hey, Frank.
That's a good one. I don't know if you guys read that. I usually see floaters in pools.
Yeah, it's usually a good place to see a floater.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just...
No.
Frank's the chili cook-off
guy.
Okay. He gets the show. He's perfect.
Yeah.
I love Frank. Don't
Yeah, you're not supposed to be talking to the dead. I get that, but when they talk to you, you know, okay, am I not supposed to speak to you? I'm not that loud, lady. You're annoying me now. You know, they're talking to you. You know, when you start seeing them, you know, like I'm not breaking no Torah rules here, man. I mean, they're coming over here to say hi to me. So what am I supposed to do? You know, no, they're not mixing religion with it. It's not your fault. Yeah.
But
and I'm sure there's a... Yeah, go ahead.
It's just so, you know, you have to be so careful when it comes to religion and paranormal. And I tend to be... I believe in a higher being, and I believe we have a better place to go and all that. But I just tend to, you
don't mix up.
Somebody on D Live was writing, I agree, you got to be careful, but it came from the ground and it was in the dark. It happened right after mediated, and I asked to record the storm that I was going on. Yeah, I'm not religious. It actually looked like a star, not an orb. Right? Yeah, I'm just reading that because D Live comments don't come up on here. So, that's awesome.
I think paranormal activity has really... I've never seen these things until recently, until I said 16 to present, and it's like now it's on time. I'm like, okay, I don't believe in you. Oh, I see a UFO. There's a white ball above the house sitting there, suspended, not moving. Okay, there's an object. There's a strange person walking. I mean, it's... what is going on, man? They're massive storms, all weird shit, but it has really stepped itself up now. Like here, it's like a ghost program that's running itself and rampant now. Ghosts, the paranormal's going. That's why we love doing the show now, meeting people like yourself, because it is a topic, it is a conversation, and a lot of people are experiencing it right now. Have never done it before, so it's getting there.
I received women's.
People that I know that don't believe in any of it, all of a sudden, hey, dude, can you describe to me how you saw blah blah blah? Yeah, that's how it is.
You're supposed to ignore them, Bob says right here.
Supposed to ignore them. Yeah, I try to. You don't even know who's alive and who's dead sometimes.
I'll tell you what.
Serious.
I gotta tell you what, Kim, I'm having an awesome time. I feel positive energy. You're awesome.
Yes.
This has been fun. This is really been fun. And I appreciate the chat putting in their stuff.
Good stories, people.
I mean, I love it. I love hearing everybody's stories.
That's why I love interviewing people in the paranormal, because it's such a wide range. People do things differently. It just intrigues me. I mean, John Huntington, my gosh, he's, besides the families that lived in the Conjuring house, he was in the Conjuring house for over a month by himself. And I mean, the stuff he was getting blows my mind. I love introducing people to these people. I love it. It is my thing, and I love sharing it with people and different teams.
It's awesome.
The South African team, oh my God, will blow your mind.
Bob, read below. Bob, read below.
I saw his. Yeah, that's when I first figured out something was wrong. Yeah, I know you don't believe in you do. You guys remember the time when we were all kids in your backyard in the shed playing with the Ouija board? Yeah, I do remember that.
But Jason, do you remember what that shed name was? I remember the name of the shed. Do you remember the name of the shed?
I don't remember the name of the shed.
Oh, Bob, there was a name.
I forgot. It was some kind of groovy name. I can't remember. It was a party shed.
It wasn't a groovy name. It was basically one word.
Yeah, what was it? I know it was weird.
It was called the Zone.
Okay, I don't remember that. But I do remember that Ouija board. We were kids playing Ouija board, and I'm like, this is stupid. Okay, let's have a good time with the Ouija board. And the damn thing was moving. We're all going, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Oh, shit. It's moving. It's moving on its own. And it said, Jason remembers, it said Britannia. You remember it spelling out Britannia. And look at me, dude. What is this? What? It's 2021, and I'm in Britain. That's not a lie. If he remembers that, he's going to go, holy shit, that's right. It said Britain. It spelled Britannia on there. And we were all, and it on its own, and we freaked out and dropped the board. We all left. This is done. We're done. No, we're done. We're not playing with this thing. It just spelled out. It spelled out, look, dude, B. And everyone's hands left it. And it was moving by itself. They're like, oh, is your magnets, man? It's saying Britannia. Like not Britain, but Britannia. And so now I'm in Britain. I'm like, that's funny he brought that up. That's a memory I forgot. Oh, I didn't have that. That's crazy. And I haven't talked to this guy in years. Eric, what is it?
Wow.
We haven't talked.
Well, we usually talk every year during the NFL season because he's a 49er fan, Seahawks fan.
Yeah, but this story hasn't been brought up since we were kids. So there's no pre-planning any of this. They were finally coming for you, buddy. Yeah, dude, and I'm in Britain. It told me where it was going to be. There you are. I'm telling you the truth. This guy remembers he was there.
We got a new subscriber on D Live. Party 1965. Welcome aboard.
That's a cool name. So there's a story. There's a story for you, Kim. That's weird that he'd bring that up. Yeah.
Oh, Carla's got to go pick up the daughter. Well, hey, we always end the show at 3:00 anyway. We only got 15 more minutes, so perfect, Carla. You go pick up your daughter. You have fun. Jason, we ran down the church after that.
Yeah, we ran to the church.
Yeah, but Jason, you guys also took a guy and handcuffed him to that same church too. So you guys remember that?
I don't have that memory.
Yes, you guys handcuffed.
I don't have that memory.
You guys need to go back until the morning to get him out.
I don't have that memory, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not even like. Eric says that I had handcuffed one of our friends inside of the church. Like I handcuffed him in the church, and I'm like, huh? I don't have that memory.
You did.
Eric and I have split.
In the morning.
Eric and I have been experiencing what we call the phenomenon, the Mandela effect. And then Eric and I have different memories on this.
Remember, one of you guys made a firework in the backyard and actually went off, and it took one of your guys' friends' eyebrows off.
That I remember. That was in the front yard, by the way.
Oh, front yard. Sorry,
okay. I was going to say that was in the front yard. Yeah, now that I remember.
So the paranormal is getting even.
So even with the paranormal happening, I said there's a phenomenon going on called the Mandela effect of people having weird mixed memories of weird things. And we've been experiencing that. Eric and I have. He's my brother. We're close family. We didn't have a mother growing up, so it was him, my older brother, and my dad. We have the memories, and Eric and I have split memories of like I went off a 100-foot cliff on the back of a motorcycle. It's a vertical cliff, 100-foot cliff straight down. I had managed to somehow magically get up the hill. Don't know how that happened. And my uncle and my cousin had to get heloed out. Went back to the camp, told my dad. He got on the horn, calls the emergency crew. They all go out there. So Eric and I are stuck in camp together with a great uncle, older guy. He's actually native. He's actually gets money from reservation. So I'm fishing. My memory is that Eric's there fishing. I'm fishing while the helicopter's getting our uncle out. They were like, "How did I get out? I don't know." And I catch a big old fish. It looked like a coelacanth. It had scales. And they called it a lungfish. And my uncle says, "Put that fish back. We don't eat those." I'm like, "What is it?" And I just came off of a cliffside. So anyway, I push it back in the water. And Eric's like, "Huh? No fish, dude. You and I were standing there. Eric had a BB gun, and Eric shot out our uncle's windshield in a Volkswagen. When he shot his windshield out with a BB gun, I said, "You never shot his windshield, huh?"
Yeah, I flattered it.
And Eric's right, and he did, but so we have a mixed memory of that
For
same
the record,
day.
I was aiming for a tree, and I missed a tree.
Yeah. Well, Eric, did you know that the guy I went off the cliff with, our cousin, I told you there was a boulder that rolled off the mountain, and the bike hit the boulder, and we flipped over and went off the cliff? He remembers a car now. He says, "No, it was a car." I said, "No, it was a boulder." He says, "It was a car." It was a boulder. He says, "No, I remember clearly the car." I said, "So
I mean, I wasn't there, but I remember you guys saying the story was a rock."
Yeah, but to him, it was a clear memory. It was a car from around the corner.
For the record, people, Bob and them, they were idiots because they had 3 people on a motorcycle. You should never have no more than 2 people. My uncle, him and a cousin. Now, my uncle, he actually broke his neck. Going off the cliff. They actually had to take him in a helicopter, and he was one of the first first U.S. citizen actually had a metal thing that went off his neck, so he can't move it.
They didn't know how there's no way he could live. They said it's impossible for this man to live.
He lived. Guardian angels that day.
Yeah, it's impossible for you to make it up a 100-foot cliff straight up. As I'm a little kid, I go, I don't know either. But I crawled up that mountain. I followed a squirrel up the mountain. I followed it. It jumped from rock to rock, and I followed the squirrel up the mountain, and I got back. But 3 of us with 3 different memories of that day. And this all happened after 2016 now with all the weird paranormal stuff that's happening, plus the UFOs and they're every day. People are seeing Sasquatch all the time. More and more pictures coming out. People are having more and more paranormal experiences with ghosts, apparitions. It's like, well, what's going on?
But now, I'm not debunking none of that. But we can also say that social media is bigger than ever. Now there's more platforms for people to be able to tell their stories too.
There it is too.
I'm not debunking whatever you said. I'm just saying. Now we got platforms where we're hearing everybody's stories from all around the world.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying this shit. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying hearing all the stories.
It's a good time. That's why I love going for, like nobody knew of the paranormal group in South Africa. But man, the stuff they were getting was blowing my mind. And the awesome thing is they did a hospital at an abandoned mine.
Oh,
and
wow.
The mine is abandoned, but it is being illegally mined by locals and gangs and all this. So a lot of murders are going on. But it wasn't just that. It was, you got on somebody's bad side. Perfect places. We're going to go to work and I'm going to take you out. And nobody knows if it is an accident or was he murdered. But Tony Rathman was also doing an investigation, and he had a research center at the Old Phelps Hospital, Old Phelps Dodge Hospital, a mining hospital. And he was getting very similar things as the South African teams were getting. Same thing, murders, collapses, horrible things. So that's what blew my mind, is bringing this all to people to see and to hear what they're getting and how there's similarities on different continents.
That's great. Yeah, no, I like hearing that story. Yeah, it's universal. It's across the board. Ghost stories are rampant. Sightings are rampant. UFO sightings are rampant. People are seeing the weirdest things. Our buddy Connor, he sees all kinds of things.
Yeah. And that's the thing that we're trying to do.
He's a forest guy. He's our forest guy.
Yeah, and that's the thing we're trying to do on this channel, is bring other communities to come to say, hey, it is all related. Paranormal, Bigfoot, UFOs. It's more related than you think it is.
Well, Andrea, who is the oldest of the 5 girls of the Perron family, says that's where she first got her UFO and where she actually communicated with aliens. Is at the Conjuring house. So, her family's going through paranormal stuff, and she's like, I'm seeing UFOs. And still to this day, she's like, they come and they communicate with me, the aliens.
Wow.
Yeah. There comes the argument. Are they the fallen angel? Are they jinn? Are they demons?
We got a question. It's 2:53. We got 7 minutes left. We got a question here. What do you think about people that are in a coma that come back? They have some cool stuff to say about where they were. Could be a good show topic. That's true. That can be a good show topic. It's almost, you can also wrap that with near-death experience too, in a way. Now, Kim, before you start seeing things like a 3 and stuff, did you actually have a near-death experience? I know, well, you're 3. It's kind of hard, but
no.
Okay.
No. So
but both my parents, the interesting thing is, my dad, his best friend went to Vietnam. My dad, being the only son, of course, was not drafted. And he said one night he sees his best friend standing at the end of his bed. And he's like, what are you doing here? Everything's going to be okay. What are you talking about? Everything's going to be okay. He says, everything's going to be okay. The next day he gets the call from the parents going, he was killed in action. And my dad's like, wait, I saw him. My mom, my dad told me this. He said, my mom woke up in the middle of the night crying hysterically. Her favorite aunt had passed away. My dad's like, no, they would have called. They would have called by now. He gets her calmed down, goes to sleep. Phone call comes in. She passed away. So, both my parents saw things, experienced things. So.
Yeah. Wow. And this is recent?
I have heard. No, this was long.
Yeah.
Let's see, 72. So you're even talking about late 60s.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
Last night on our show, on the Bigfoot show, we're talking about all our near-death experience. I was like, Bob had a near-death experience flying off the cliff. I flew out of a car as a baby, got hit by a car, flew out of my shoes. It's just, it's a weird world. It's a weird world.
And I have heard people that went in comas. They come back a totally different person.
We heard that too, yeah.
Yeah.
But do you have anything we're at the end of the show, but do you have anything coming up on your channel?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be doing any interviews soon or live show or anything?
The 25th, I'm interviewing the paranormal couple haunted museum. It's Satori Hawes. We all know who her dad is, Jason Hawes, and her husband Cody, and they have a haunted museum. And I'm going to interview them, and they're going to show us some of their pieces and
their collection.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. And I'm going to take a little bit of break, and then I haven't arranged second season yet, but we're going to be working on it probably over the weekend. Second season, I'm going to take a little bit of a break because it just gets too much, and you just kind of have to decompress.
You do. You do. You do.
Yeah, we do.
We're still going to come on maybe once a week and have fun, decompress.
Yeah.
And there's my husband.
Well, make sure the day before you do that show, send me a tweeter of that link, and I'll put on my community bar and say, "Hey, they're doing interviews. I love interviews.
I like stories.
Good people. That's where the story is. So I'm sure CNN and Fox News don't always tell you the truth.
No.
No.
I like hearing weird stories that I don't feel crazy.
I dig into the people I interview because I don't like asking the same questions. So I really dig into their Facebook, YouTube channel, wherever I can find about them, so I can ask good questions and dig in.
Yeah, always ask them. My favorite question is always start off, what's your favorite head of lettuce? And then they're like, they don't know how to answer. They're like, I don't know what to say about that.
What?
You like iceberg? Iceberg is good. Roman, that is. There's different brands of, what's your favorite head of lettuce?
That's funny. That's funny. But I do want to say, thank you for coming on. Today was awesome. Today was fun.
Thank you.
We always try to have a relaxed, just free show.
Friday.
We don't overthink things. We just run with it.
Yeah.
No,
that's why we don't even really talk to people way before the show. Hey, this is what we're going to talk about. We want everything raw, real.
Yeah, we don't prep. Everyone gets nervous. They're like, they're not prepping. We're like, we just talk about it on the show. I mean, what's the prep? You going to prep what you want to say? We're just going to have a conversation.
I don't do that with my interviews.
Yeah,
I dig in to get my own questions, and then I'll tell them, come in 30 minutes before the show, just so I can say we're going to do this and this, kind of set up.
Yeah.
That's about it. But I love digging in and asking the unusual questions. And there's my husband. He wants to ask a question.
Oh
yeah.
Let me see.
Put him on.
Oh well, yeah.
Yes, you can.
All ideas are welcome.
This scares me.
on this channel, all ideas are. Oh, let me see. Awesome show. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you. She's from New Zealand. Well, where's that question? We want that question. Bring it on. Bring it on.
What's our favorite dog?
Or who's the more handsome brother? Well, that's going to be me.
That's me. No, that's definitely me.
What are we eating tonight? Okay, I'll answer that first. We'll go to her. Now, what am I eating tonight is we're going to a Mexican restaurant, and then we're going to the movie theaters to have popcorn with butter to watch Night House. That's what I'm eating tonight. Bob, what are you eating tonight before we get to her?
I just got back from the pub. Somebody bought me a dinner. I got a big ass 10-ounce steak with chips, which is French fries, and then I got a side of crispy onion rings that were monster fat with some wine.
Well, now I know this question is meant for her. So, what are you eating tonight?
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't.
Whatever he cooks, right? Is that what that is?
Yes.
Now, is he saying? Is he basically saying? Well, she's going to be cooking, so I want to know what she's going to be cooking after the show. Is he being a chauvinist?
He's the man. He's the man.
It's going to be meat and potatoes. That's what you're all having. Meat and potatoes.
A new restaurant opened up, and I was telling my husband, you oh my gosh, fish and chips. Oh God.
I'm in fish and chip capital right now.
Heinz beans. Oh yes.
Oh.
HP sauce. Oh my God.
That does sound good. Are you into the mushy peas? They have mushy peas here.
No.
Yeah, I can't do it either. I always ask for extra fries. Can I have extra fries, no mushy peas, please?
No.
We don't mush our peas in America.
Well, I guess beyond that, I guess we'll end the show. I want to say everybody have a great weekend, and Kim's got to come back because it's such a great time. You got to come back.
Definitely.
Maybe we'll get you on. We'll get the Veil Paranormal on. We'll get one big paranormal.
Actually, me and her were on a live stream talking about our abilities, and it's funny because she has the same experience growing up like I did.
Oh yeah, we know everything about her. She come on. Her kids actually have some of her abilities and all that, and
that's awesome.
Paranormal Underworld lives with her. He was in the chat and all that. So we're gonna try to get together and do a Bridgewater Triangle Part 2 show. We're still trying to work that out. And then beyond that, guys, I want to say.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna be doing one tomorrow. So go to Robert Wood's channel. I'll be doing it at 9 o'clock my time. But the reason why this one's a Q&A, which is very rare that I do this. So I'll be doing a Q&A. So it's just gonna be. I'll be asking. I'm tired of people asking me questions. I'm like, okay, I'll answer questions. So Robert Wood channel tomorrow.
Wow, everybody hear that? He's gonna do a Q&A.
Yeah.
Damn, you better have your questions ready because that's going to be a hoot. What time is that one on, Bob?
Well, 9 o'clock my time, which is what, 1 o'clock your time?
Probably.
Yeah. Something, or maybe 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I don't know. Depends. It depends.
Well, beyond that, everybody have a good weekend. We'll see everybody later.
Thank you.
See you later, Kim.